Hello, everybody. We're live. Now we're live. Yay. How you doing? I'm going to put in a quick hello. I'm not sure who's out there, if anybody's out there, but you know me. I just prattle on as if someone's listening to me, even if nobody's listening to me. Drinking a little seltzer. Still really hot in New Jersey. Even though we are officially, kind of at the end of summer, right? Summer's kind of over. Sucks. But like I've told people before in my other videos, I go back to work on Wednesday. I'm not happy about it. But, I just feel like the summer went by really quick. And probably because I worked. So I felt like I kind of didn't have a summer. But, that's the way it goes. So, as you can see from the title, I'm swimming in patterns because in my last video, I talked about how I did the 2 pattern hauls from Facebook Marketplace. Then I did, sorry, I'm going to take my glasses off for a minute. Then I also did an additional pattern haul from a woman named Amy who runs Requiem Salvage. And I've done hauls from her before and unboxed them. I don't think I did that as live feed. I think I did that one as just a straight up pattern haul video. So after all of that, after 3 different pattern transactions, I go into Goodwill, which I often do. I go into Goodwill, and actually I went into Goodwill. I'm looking at it. It's over here. It's one of those Sterilite file things. And the reason I went to Goodwill is I knew they would have one, and their prices are normally really excellent on this kind of stuff. So, I went in and I got the Sterilite. And as I always do, I went back to look at the patterns. And I came out with, I went back to see if there were patterns. And I came back with 7 bags of patterns, 5 patterns each, 35 patterns total. So we're also going to be going through those. Actually, Amy's shipment didn't come yet. And I know Amy, I know Amy in the real world, IRL, right? And I have a feeling the reason that didn't come yet is she's putting other stuff in it. Because basically what she did was she sent me a text with a picture of a box full of patterns and said, "Are you interested?" And I said, "Yes, please." So I said, "How much?" And she said, "With the shipping, it'll be $37. Just send me $37. So I did, right? I PayPal'd her $37. Last time I got a haul from her, it was all the stuff that was in the actual ad for the box that she was selling, plus all this extra ephemera stuff. So that's probably what she's doing now. She's probably loading me up with a bunch of other stuff that I don't know about yet. So I should be getting a surprise. It didn't come yet, and that's fine because Amy's haul might be a better separate video, maybe just a regular video, because she's got a company where you can go look at her stuff. She's got a Facebook page where she does online auctions. So she's really, she's really professional. The stuff I'm doing tonight, obviously some of it's just from Goodwill. So it's only local to me. And then the other stuff is Facebook Marketplace, which is very, very hit or miss. I haven't done a Facebook Marketplace in a while, not since I did that huge Butterick haul back in, was that June or May? Yeah, it'll be dry for months. I won't see anything I'm interested in. And then, I'll get a good haul. So let's start with one of the orders that I did through Facebook. All right. So this came today, by the way. So I haven't really looked at this. I did open the box. And this one of the reasons I wanted to buy this so bad, you guys will see in a minute, isn't just that it was a bunch of patterns. It was that she was selling the whole shebang. So this is a vintage sewing pattern box. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll take it, right? So she sold me this and she sold me all the patterns in it. And I think with the shipping, it was $69. So not the best deal I've ever done, but in a minute, you will see why I was willing to take the risk on these patterns. So she has this in the ad, and then I see this. Let me push you guys back just a little bit. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, Vogue does 2 sizes of patterns. They're, I think, one of the only companies that still does it. There's regular Vogue, which is the size of like McCall's and Butterick and all the other ones, right? Simplicity. Then they do these. These are a Vogue large format pattern. Now, this ended up being 17 patterns, I think. I can't remember. We'll have to count them because it was in the ad. And, you know, I knew it was expensive, but when I saw these, I knew, I'm going to push you guys back even further. There we go. When I saw these, when I saw large format, I knew that there might be some really, you know, awesome stuff in here. So here's the very first pattern. Let's look at this. I'm going to see if it's, yep, factory folded. No idea if it's worth anything, but normally what I find is large format Vogues sell very well and people really like them. Ooh, look at that. Oh, I don't think this is factory folded, but let's take a look. I don't know. It's a tough, no, it's not. I can see what's been cut, but okay. It's kind of Return of the Jedi, isn't it? It's very Jedi. Ooh. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not showing you guys the line drawings. There we go. There's the line drawings. Let me see if this one's factory folded. This one's factory folded. Here's the line drawings, by the way, for the Return of the Jedi. Vogue. Empire Strikes Back. Not sure which one that was. Not sure which Jedi that is. Okay. This, I can see it sticking out. It's not factory folded. This is kind of cool, though. Who's it by? Jean Muir. Yeah, not factory folded. It's cut. But I can probably still sell them for pretty good money. Ooh, looky here. Wow. Albert Nippen, no less. Let's see if this one's factory folded. Yes, this is factory folded. You know, and that's the thing about these. This is why people like them. It's not just about the pattern. It's about the graphics and, ooh, Oscar de la Renta. Wow. Oh, and okay, see this on the back, guys? I'll have to look at it, but some of the Vogue patterns came with a label. Here, let me see. Ooh, I think this is factory folded. Let me see the label. Okay, so these, all right, so there's 2 styles. It seems that like in the 60s, they put the label in for you. These like 70s, 80s ones, they say, ask for our label at the counter, meaning you have to ask for it at the pattern store. Whether the woman did or not, I have no idea, but I don't know if there'll be a label in here until I really get to look through it. Nice, very basic kind of blouse. Renata, that name is really familiar. Very 80s looking, so it's very 80s, does 40. Ooh, also factory folded. Oh, and I'll show you. Here we go. See, here's all I need to know about Renata. This was another thing. Can you guys see this? What they did was they had the information about the designers on the tab. And, you know, you don't get this kind of stuff anymore. I'm not 100% Vogue even does large format anymore. I don't know. I have some newer Vogues that are large format, but they might have stopped it like in the 90s. You know, it's tough to tell because patterns aren't what they used to be. Women aren't sewing like they used to. So, you know, things are changing. And this is by Joseph Picone. I don't know if he's the son of Evan Picone. This has been cut. Who actually, my grandmother used to work for Evan Picone. I think I've talked about my grandmom. She was a seamstress. She was a union seamstress. Here's a beautiful Anne Klein. Very, very 80s Anne Klein. You see, this one's factory folded. My grandmother was a union seamstress, and she worked for Evan Picone as what they used to call a head seamstress. And what they would do is they would go up to the cutting room in New York. This was her job. Glassport, that's Bill Blass, by the way, for those of you who don't know. Glassport was Bill Blass's casual line. Even though it's funny, I look at this now and this is not considered casual at all anymore. If you dress like this, people would wonder where you were going and what was going on or what, you know, ask you if you were dressed up for something. Anyway, so my grandmother would go up to the cutting room. They'd give her a basic pattern that they were working on for a garment, usually pret-a-porter, right? So not couture, but pret-a-porter. So stuff you would buy at a department store. She would put the garment together and she would tell them, you know, this pocket took me X amount of time. If you eliminated this detail on this pocket, this would be it would be quicker to sew, which ultimately saves them this money. Okay, by the way, these are the reasons why I bought this, even though it was pricey. These are the Vogue Paris originals. Oh, I mean, I don't know who Patou is. I don't remember a designer named Patou. Again, all that information is going to be up here on the tab. No, actually, there isn't anything about the designer. Okay, so this one looks it looks partially cut, meaning like someone made one of the views or cut out some of it, but didn't do all of it. That's cool. Works for me. Here's another one. You know, they're just so amazing to look at, right? And this is Pierre Cardin. Oh, yeah. Look at that. I mean, I'm sure I can still sell these, even if they were cut. I'm hoping that some of them were... Oh, wait a minute. Look. Looky there. She got the label. She also included the fabric she's going to be using. Pretty nice. Feels like a worsted wool. It's a little bit of a heavier wool, but it's not a super heavy wool. So nice, very nice. The pattern does look. Oh wait, there's more. Wait, there's more. There's also. Oh, look at this little book that she put in there. Sewing with modern fabrics. Nice. Put that back in there. I'm not going to put this back in there. Not sure if I'll include that sewing with modern fabrics to whoever gets this. Ooh. All right, so here's another one. Givenchy. This is actually really nice. Look at this. It's a wrap skirt. That's really cool. And this is feeling, when they feel kind of like crunchy, for lack of a better word, that's when I usually know that yeah, this one's cut. This is another one that looks like not all of it's cut. So I might have lucked out on that one. Okay, so this one, oh, a Vogue basic design. Nice. Look at that. That's actually really nice. Oh, and this is made for knits. This is designed for stretch knits. Huh. Are suitable for knits, it says. Another one looks like it's kind of partially cut, not 100% cut. And that's really pretty, actually. I'm thinking this is late 70s. You know, knits were super popular, but I remember there was kind of a weird backlash in the 80s where everything was 100% cotton again. Like, after the 70s, we wanted to... Okay, sorry. Sorry, I just stopped dead in my tracks speaking. Vogue Couture. Okay. I'm really hoping this isn't cut, but it probably is. I don't know who Belinda Belleville is of London, but yeah, wow. The Vogue Couture patterns. Is this another one? Oh, there's another one. There's another one. Vogue Couture, from my understanding, is like the pinnacle, right? Okay, so this one's a little cut, but this is another one that's only partially cut. So, wow. Look at this. Another Vogue Couture. This one's definitely cut because somebody wrote on it. Can you see in the back next to the line drawing, someone wrote something on it? But wow, what a cool dress. Very like boho-ish, cottagecore, but okay. And this one's cut, but you know what I'm noticing as I'm opening these, even the ones that are cut, I can tell they were cut really well. Like they're not all banged up like my patterns. Wow. Fabriani. Look at that. Another Vogue Couture. And this one is apparently a collectible because it says collect. This is so cool. This is, wow. Guys, just let's look at that dress again. Look how cool that is. This is definitely cut. I can feel it. But again, not in bad shape. I have a feeling maybe this person's mom, because she said that this was her mom's, may have been a seamstress, because you can kind of see the stopping point is like the 80s. So maybe she was a seamstress until the 80s. So, I never did count them. Sorry. Let me count them for you guys. 2, 4, 6, 8, 14, 17. I was right. Okay. I thought it was 17, but I couldn't remember because I was going off the ad. I hadn't really looked at these yet. So, yeah, we're off to a good start. And, not for nothing. Look at this. Cute this box is. Right? Cute. Okay, so let's do, because they're right here, let's do Goodwill next. Okay, so what I did was when I got home, I had to take the labels off them right away to see if I could maybe not destroy the paper. You know how I like to do that. And I took the bundles and I numbered them and I did peek at them because I really needed to get started on doing all these patterns because they're going to take me forever to do. But I'm still going to show them all to you guys. I can tell you right now, the majority of these patterns were factory folded. So this was a really good deal because this ended up being, they were $5.99. So they were $6 each. So it ended up being $42 plus whatever the tax was on these, which I can't remember. So let's say $45 for the sake of argument. And I would say more than 75% of these patterns were factory folded. So this was bag number 1. Let's go through it. And by the way, every single one of them was vintage. I can't remember seeing any new patterns at all. And when I mean new, I mean anything that was, after 1990. Like everything was a vintage pattern. And I know that there are 35 of them because every bag had 5 patterns in it. So, except, you know what? Can you think of it? I might be wrong about that. I think there was one bag that had 6 patterns in it. Wow. Look at these. Look how gorgeous these are. Like, I love this. This is the Simplicity Bonus Basic Pattern in women's sizes. Wow. And this is a larger size, which is nice because, when I say larger, let's put that in context. This is a size 16, which at that time was a 38-inch bust. A lot of the patterns I get are 12s, and 12 is a 32-inch bust. I've gotten stuff that's like 10s. 10s are like a 30-inch bust because women were smaller back then. But isn't that cool? It's a great dress. And then there's this really cute little Jiffy dress. And this is amazing because look at the line drawings on the back. It's only like that many pieces, but it's so cute. And this is also a size 16. So that's kind of nice too, that even though they're still smaller, relatively speaking, they're at least bigger than the other vintage patterns I have, right? Okay. This is bag number 2. Oh, I'm telling you, this was such a good score. I had such a good week. The pattern goddess, pattern fairies, whatever, pattern gods, they were smiling on me this week. Okay, so here's another one. Another beautiful, really basic dress. Look at that line drawing. Like so elegant and so nice. I love this kind of stuff. Just not stuffy, and look how pretty this is. And this one must have had a price tag on it because you can see I ended up destroying the back a little bit. I love this, but my first thought was, doesn't this look like what the Flying Nun used to wear? Was it the Flying Nun? One of them where she was a nun, and this was basically her outfit. No, I guess it wasn't the Flying Nun because she had the whole head thing going on. Oh, how cute. How cute. Like, serious, this was your casual wear. If you wore this out in the street now, people would be like, what's going on? Why are you so dressed up? Right? This was really cool too. The funny thing is this dress here, my mom had a very similar dress, very similar print in the 70s. That's always the most interesting thing to me about doing the vintage patterns is I will always come across a dress my grandmom had, a dress my mom had, a dress my sister had, and a dress I had in any, you know, a lot of vintage patterns that I get. My sister's 11 years older than me, so she really grew up. She was born in the early 50s, so she really grew up, was kind of like young and a teenager in the 60s, but really a teenager in the 70s. Like we have pictures of her in 72 when she graduated from high school, like at Disneyland with her friends. So I always see outfits she wore. I always see things my mom wore. And I sometimes, if the patterns are old enough, I see stuff my grandma wore. And then when we get into the 80s, don't get me started about all the stuff I wore in the 80s. All right, how cute is this? So this is, again, a whole wardrobe. So it's the top, the shorts, and then the little skirt that goes over it. So another like play suit. Ooh. Oh, I wonder if the hat comes with this. I think it does. Oh, I think the hat comes with that. Maybe not. It's a belt. Okay. Yeah, see, I'm sure my sister had these. Like, what's interesting is, see this? This is Jane Fonda in Clute. That's what she looked like. Oh, bell bottoms, no less. And this is one fashion trend I do not wish to see again, is the jumpsuit, especially the tight jumpsuit, And, I'm noticing a lot of these patterns. See, and here we go in the 80s. I had this in high school. Literally had this shirt, a shirt just like it in the 80s in like a floral print. See? But that's kind of cool. This is an easy fit, easy sew pattern. Oh, look at this. The only problem is some of the older ones are super fragile. Some critter was definitely chewing on some of these patterns, when they were still in grandmom's basement before the kids cleaned out her house and took everything to Goodwill. So sad, isn't it? So sad. Do you ever think your relatives, when you're doing that, are looking up from heaven going, I can't believe you're donating that? All right. Another simplicity. Nice basic shirt pattern. Also vintage. I'm looking at this. I'm thinking really early 80s. I'm curious when simplicity changed from this. Because this was simplicities through most of the 70s, but they took it into the early 80s, but then like kind of early mid 80s, they skipped to they took away this border thing. Oh, and look at this. Cute, right? There's the line drawings. And this, yeah, I guarantee you my sister had this skirt. I can see her in 1970 wearing this to high school. No problem. And this one's written on. I can't read it. It's too light. Okay, so this was one of the ones that the critters had gotten to. So as soon as I tried to get the price off of it, I put it into one of these plastic bags because it was so... something was eating it when it was in the basement. And it was falling apart. But look at those awesome line drawings. Can you see how amazing that is? They actually have like the woman, like not just... they actually have the sketch of the woman in the back line drawings, which you never see anymore. So I think patterns, and it's weird, but pattern instructions especially have gotten more wordy, but almost less easy to follow, if that makes any sense to anybody, right? Ooh, thirsty. Okay, so how pretty is this? The only problem I see with clothes like this, they're so beautiful, but my life is so casual. I really have no place to wear these, look at this thing. How gorgeous that is. It's so pretty. Oh, look at those bell-bottom pants. I'm going to a barbecue for Labor Day. Maybe I can wear something like that to the barbecue. And then look at how pretty these are. It's kind of a shame that we've become more casual. This was another one that the critters were eating. I remembered there were two of them that the critters, this one, oh yeah, this is the one the critters were really getting to. When I show you the line drawings, you'll really see like the back, how they were just eating it. Can you see this? This is the bottom of the envelope. Something was eating it in Grandmom's basement. But really cool. And I think, yeah, this one I think is cut, but is like what I call mint cut. Okay, so I'll give you a quick lesson in how I figure out patterns, right? So when I look at the patterns, the things I look for are, was it cut? Was it cut with a really good margin next to where it was supposed to be cut? And does it have pinholes? If it's cut with a really wide margin, like, you know, on either side of the actual piece and there's no pinholes, that's always to me a dead giveaway that this was a seamstress. She made this outfit for one person. She traced it. She did any alterations she needed to do for that person. Then she very carefully folded it, ironed it, and put it away. So it's almost like a new pattern, except you don't have to cut it out, which is nice. The only problem is I usually do tend to count them to make sure that a piece didn't get lost. But, you know, even when I see things that are factory folded sometimes, I've been tricked where I've like gone to pack a pattern, a piece falls out, and I think it's factory folded. It's happened to me twice, pretty recently, and both times it was a neck piece, which is really weird. But okay, this might be the oldest one in this lot. It's so nice, isn't it? And I think, yeah, this is the one I was looking for a date, and there's no date on it. Because I'm not sure when Simplicity decided to start dating their parent patterns, but they didn't for a really long time. So another great Jiffy dress. This is another super cute dress. Like, you know, there's the line drawing, but, you know, like if you look at this one here, not the jumper one, but the one that's got where you sewed the insert in, it's a cool dress, you know? What size is that? 14, it's 34-inch bust. Okay, so there were a couple of advanced patterns, I think, in here, and they're just, this is for this gorgeous Bolero set. This isn't bad. This is 14. This is a printed pattern. Here's another Jiffy. I love this. This is a house dress. You got to love a house dress, right? Just throw this baby on. There's the line drawings. The dress is two pieces, two main pieces. It says it right on the front. And this is a 14-16. So again, it's nice. It's a little larger. Oh, this one. Look how cute this is. Okay, so this has been cut, but it's in really good shape. So there's the line drawings, but like how cute, right? So that'll go in my costume bin. So as I was saying about the patterns, so if I find something that's been cut, but it's in really good shape, I consider it cut mint. Then I just have cut, which is I can see some pinholes. The darts have been cut out. You know, the little side markers, the tailor's marks have been cut around and things like that. That's a cut pattern. Then there's, of course, factory folded uncut. And then there's partially cut, which is a whole nother ball game. That's like they only made the shirt and it's got a skirt, a vest, and trousers, and they're all still factory folded. Or, you know, they unfolded it and just took the pocket piece and then folded everything back up. So that's normally how I like kind of grade my patterns. I'm actually thinking of putting together a little video for, you can load videos up to Etsy that explains kind of a glossary of terms type video. So if I do that, maybe I'll throw that up here just to talk about it. Oh, I wish this was in my size. How cute are these skirts, right? And they're just a basic gathered skirt, but the waist on these is 25. Yeah, not in years have I been at 25. Okay, another absolutely beautiful skirt. This is another one that may be quite old. This might be, yeah, I'm looking, if you look at the graphics on this, this looks like 50s, right? So, oh, there we go. So these were like literally the most modern patterns that were in here. This is another one that's kind of a really nice basic skirt. It's only size 10 though, but it's nice. And then this, I thought this was so cute. It's shorts and culottes or gaucho pants, whatever you call them. There's the line drawings on the back. They have them like pleated, multi-pleated, or not pleated. Oh, here we go, another 1950s pattern. Is this the other advanced? No. Okay. Maybe there wasn't another advanced in this one. It might have been the next haul, which was the big shebang. All right, so I kind of saved the best for last, guys. So the very first purchase I did was a woman who was advertising. She had just put on Facebook Marketplace old sewing patterns and sewing notions. So immediately caught my eye. And I see vintage patterns in her photo. So I contacted her, it's still available. And she said yes. And I said, do you know if they're used, if they've ever been used or they're still folded up? She said, it's probably 50-50. I'm cleaning out my mom's house. We're cleaning out her sewing room. This is a box of basically her sewing stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, And I was like, well, I'm interested. And, how much do you want? And blah, blah, blah. We did all that Tuesday morning. And this is the box that came Wednesday morning. The one that if you watched my Redbird Vintage video, I said I had to go through the box because there's no way I can sit in a house with vintage patterns sitting in a box till Saturday. I admit it. I can't do it. I'm powerless in the face of patterns. So let's just get started. This box was filled with patterns for sewing, like clothing, craft patterns, and then all of these totally bizarre things that I will show you, like newspaper clippings and stuff that I think I might start scanning into Etsy because they were so interesting. But let's start with the basics. So here's number one. This was one of the craft patterns. These are unused, but for some reason she had two of them. So I don't know if she was going to make the drapes and then make the curtains, but two of them, vintage McCall's, totally mid-century modern. And it makes the tablecloth, the drapes, the cottage curtains, and then also what they call trimmings. And I don't know what they consider trimmings, but whatevs. I'm happy. Okay. Okay, this is a funny story. So you notice this envelope doesn't have a stamp. So let me show you what was inside the envelope. I'm not going to show it to you too long because it has the poor woman's name. I don't know if this person's still alive. So never heard of this company. Holiday Special C10. It is these lovely Barbie doll clothes. I'm assuming they're for a Barbie doll. I'll have to look at it closer. Nothing was cut except these three pieces, which are for a blouse. So back of blouse, front of blouse, sleeve. So I'm looking them up. I'm looking all over the internet for them, blah, blah, blah. I can't find anything. So I just priced them out. And then just for shits and giggles, I decided to look up the stamp. It was a 4-cent Abe Lincoln stamp from 1960 something. It's selling on Etsy for $98. And I was like, okay, that's insane. But I have to be honest with you guys. I have that kind of karma. In my living room, I have a watercolor lithograph that is done by a Chinese-American artist. And I want to say his name is Mitchell Dong, but it might be Dong Mitchell. I'll put it below when I do all the show notes of him. It's absolutely beautiful. It's from the 1970s. And I found it at Goodwill for $14.99. I was walking through and I just I look at the art once in a while, just because I'm always wondering if something like that's going to happen. And I saw this piece of art and I'm thinking, that's something. That's not just Goodwill art, right? So I bought it and it was in the ugliest 1980s, like fake plastic, but gold frame. Horrible. And the glass was broken. So I told her, I said, I don't want the frame. You can take it. I'll just roll it up for me. I'll take the painting. Got it home, looked it up. So Sotheby's had one for $1,000. And I was like, okay, well, that was a good day at Goodwill, wasn't it? Yeah. So I took the stamp off the envelope, and we'll deal with that stamp later. Because quite honestly, guys, stamp collecting, not in my wheelhouse, not my thing. So this one is Alice Brooks, who I was able to find pretty much all over the internet. She did everything from mail away, dress patterns to patterns for crocheting, lace, craft patterns, whatever. So this is for a little doll, and only one piece has been cut. The rest of the pattern is whole. So there's what the designs look like. And let me tell you, there was a lot of this. It was just tons of like, what is this thing? Oh, wow, look, it's a pattern for making lace, things like that. So whoever this woman's mother was very crafty. She definitely did lots of crafts, which is sweet. It's so sweet. Okay, so let me get into the stack here. I started to put some stuff in plastic bags because a lot of them were in really bad shape. So, and I started listing some of these because I need to get ahead of this before I go back to work. So if you're interested in any of these, this whole batch that we're looking at, most of this stuff's already on Etsy. So we had this. So these are Barbie doll clothes, but they can't use the word Barbie. They're unlicensed, right? We've been through this before with the unlicensed. So this is like the 70s Barbie. This pattern's from 1971. Whereas this one, it's more traditional Barbie because she's getting married. This is from 69. But still cute. And then I came across this. This is crazy. So it's Ken and Barbie. So the Ken pattern, which is insane, is, as far as I can tell, unused and factory folded. But, I mean, come on, guys, look at Ken. Look at Ken in this. He's a doll. And then there's Barbie, and this is her round-the-clock wardrobe. This is obviously from the 50s, I can tell, probably late 50s because of the clothes, but it's really banged up. And it has been cut, but it's another one that's not in bad shape. And they're both by Advance. You can see they're both by Advance. And look, they have the Mattel emblem up here. So they're on Etsy. Any Barbie fans, Barbie collectors, they're up there. And then this just got crazy. Oh, these two. Skipper, everybody remembers Skipper? She was Barbie's little sister, the Barbie's little sister doll. And remember, she had the flat feet, whereas all the Barbies had the feet that were ready for high heels. And then Francie, who I don't remember, but she's described as Barbie's mod, M-O-D, cousin. So I guess this was their attempt at mod fashion, because it is all really mod. Take a look at the hats and the striped shirt and everything. Very, very mod. Okay, so then we get to these patterns, which are actually, these are like allowed to be Barbie, right? They actually say Barbie on them. This one actually says Barbie. This other one only says fashion doll, but then it says it in the directions that it can be used for Barbie. So this is Barbie's wardrobe. And it's funny, this kind of looked like a reproduction to me, but it wasn't. It's from 66. So I guess not. And then there's this one. And this is another one that says teen fashion doll, but then in the notes it says that it fits Barbie. So yeah, in fact, it says on the front page, fits Barbie, Francine, Casey, Midge, Barbara Joe, Bubba? No, Baba. Babs, Gina, Annette, Bridget, Mira, Wonder Woman, Supergirl, Tammy, and others. So there you go. And then I found this one. Now this is another unbranded Barbie type thing, but just really cute and much older. This one I think was from 64. It was, because I thought, you know what? Some of these outfits kind of have a very Jackie O kind of look to them, right? They kind of look like they're Jackie O inspired. And then this was the last one. And I'm not even going to take it out because you can see how bad that is? The bugs got it. But this doll was called Sweet Sue and Binny. I have no idea what that is, and it has been cut, but the pattern is actually not in bad shape at all, considering how bad the rest of, how bad the envelope looks. But the pattern is actually okay. Okay, so I did organize these a little bit, so you got to bear with me because I'm going to be showing you the stuff that I know is factory folded first. So the very first thing was Sue Barnett Pattern. And Sue Barnett, again, for those of you who don't know, I have a Sue Barnett back here. And Sue Barnett, isn't this cute? Peasant blouse. And here's the funny thing. The postmark says 1980, but don't these look older than 1980s, right? They look older than 1980s. But Sue Barnett was the mail order company for Jewel Tea Company, which is pretty famous in the Chicago area. Then it became Jewel, the supermarket chain, but they used to be a mail order, and they used to be door to door. They used to come to your house and you could buy coffee and tea from the Jewel guy. All right, so remember, all these ones I'm showing you right now, these are all factory folded. Just absolutely gorgeous, aren't they? And I already put these up online because I, again, had to get ahead of all these patterns. This is amazing because these are, even the non-vintage ones are hard to find. Like, it's hard to find a slip pattern. And I got a vintage one. Oh, and some of the clothes were just so gorgeous. Look how pretty this is. Such a pretty dress. Now, she must have been a size 12 because literally almost every single one of these patterns was a size 12. And this one, I just want to point out, can you guys see the detail right here on this? That like waterfall kind of like welted pocket. So cool looking. And aprons, because what would be a haul without me getting patterns for aprons? But these are at least very old. These were 66, I think. 66 or 67. There's all these. And then this ridiculous thing, which is for some reason a jumpsuit, pajamas, or the shorties, which is also a jumpsuit, which we would call a romper now. And then little footies. You can make the footy slippers. I have no idea why anybody would wear this. It looks so, can you imagine you got to get up in the middle of the night and pee? Like I do. Like, it seems like every 5 minutes I got to get up and pee, but you know. And then some children's patterns. It's funny. I think there were only 1 or 2 children's patterns in this entire haul, which was great because I have too many children's patterns. I just don't sell them the way I sell adult patterns. Okay, so we had some quick sew. This is really cute. And this has transfers. Can you guys see the little stuff? And it's girls' nightgowns and bikini underwear for girls. And then apparently John Travolta did some modeling for them. And yeah. Kendall, I didn't know much about, so I had to look them up. These are apparently some of the earliest knit patterns you could buy. And the mill that was making the fabric started making patterns. Who knew? So there we go. And I'm not showing you the back because they don't really have great lines, you know, like line drawings in the back. They just kind of, all of them seem to have something that shows you how to stretch fabric. And then this, which I thought was so weird. This is another one. There's no line drawing, but it's a gored skirt for girls, but it refers to it as growing girls gore skirts. So I don't understand exactly what they mean by that, but whatevs. All right. So this next stack I'm going to do from in here is patterns that we'll do partially cut patterns before I get to the next stack. So all of these patterns have been partially cut, but they're still in excellent shape. And again, these are what I would call mint because whoever cut them with a very wide space next to the actual cutting line, and there's no pins, which means they trace them and probably use them again. Just, again, so super cute, right? Oh, here we go. Here was one of the other kids' patterns. And this is what, 2 pieces? Yeah, it's a 2-piece smock pattern for a little girl. Do kids wear smocks anymore? They just get everything dirty? Yeah. And this, oh, I wish I would have found this Vogue at the beginning of the summer because it's actually got the bathing suit. Of course, it's not in my size. It's a size 10. So it's like a hip 33. In no lifetime have I had a hip that was a size 33. Really nice Vogues, though. She had very good taste. I'm also wondering, like Like in the Vogue, she's a 10, but in the other, she's a 12. So I think a lot of these she was making for herself. I wish I knew what year this was, because to me, this looks older. I'll show you the front again. Doesn't this look like late 40s? Just the graphics. So we'll see. And this was just so nice. This was another really nice. And this is funny because this is these skirts and this thing, and they're calling it like a travel ensemble. You see? So yeah, no sweats on a plane for these girls. So these patterns have been cut. They're still in good shape, but I can see pinholes in them. They've been, like the little guides for the darts have been cut out, or they're not even the guides for the darts. What they are is you cut it, like you'll cut it out on, say, the front of the blouse, and then the back of the blouse will also have a cutout, and you line them up, right? So they're like tailor's marks. But cute, huh? Look how cute this is. Oh. And they're in good shape. Even though they were cut, they're in very good shape. And then here's another baby pattern. Very cute. It's what my mom used to call a sunsuit. I don't know if they still make sunsuits. Do they call it a sunsuit? Yeah, they actually do call it a two-piece sunsuit. Okay, and there's this. House coats, pajamas, all kinds of really pretty stuff. I guess women had to sew because they had so much clothing back then. Seriously, we wear the same thing to bed that we then wear to yoga, that we then wear to, go to Walmart. So, but house coats. All right, so now I'm going to show you some more clothing patterns, but these are unusual because they're really big, right? All right, so another Kendall pattern. Look how huge these are. Again, large format, right? And these, see these? You can make the bell bottoms with these, which that alone is worth having these patterns, right? And then lots of stretch and sew. She had a ton of stretch and sew. Here's not a ton, but you know what I mean. So I think by the time we got to the 70s, she was starting to get a little more casual with the way she dressed. Men's patterns, which this might actually sell. Men's patterns usually don't sell too well for me, but that might sell. And these are just pull-on polyester pants and pull-on polyester shorts. This is turtlenecks and t-shirts. I love that things have metric on the back. Remember when they were trying to force us to do metric and Americans were like, no, we're not going to do it. Every place else in the world. It's crazy when you travel. Every place else in the world. Metric. Not here. We will not be forced into changing our system of measurement. Well, look where we are now. We won't even go there. We won't make this political. Anyway, raglan dress, raglan shirt. Very cute. Okay, so now we're going to get to the odd stuff. So here's one of the first odd things. I see this envelope. Women's Day. Okay. Women's Day. Nice. She sent away for something from Women's Day. I pull it out. I open it up. It's not from Women's Day. It is more doll stuff. And it's all of these designs and all of these patterns for dolls. I guess this is one of them. And here we go. I'm losing pieces. And doll clothes and all kinds of stuff. So not really sure what that was all about. Apparently she made a doll. I have no idea what these kind of things are worth. So this is what trips me up is I don't know how much something like this is worth. I'm happy that I decided just for the hell of it to look up that stamp before I left that stamp on that pattern envelope and somebody else grabbed it and was like, I can't believe I just bought this pattern that I don't want, so that I could get the $90, $90, $100 stamp off of it that this woman didn't know about. So, okay. There also seemed to be like really beautiful personal stuff. So this was one of them. And I was like, oh, this is so pretty. It's like, you know, a card. And then I opened it up and it is, and you got, I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me see if I can do. It's a Tree of Life Christmas card. It's so beautiful. And it is from Miss Haight. I don't know who Miss Haight is. Her name is spelled Hait, Miss Haight. And it says A3. So I don't know if possibly this was a school teacher thing. And there seems to be a phone number on here. 703-1393. So, you know. Okay, so now we start to get into this stuff, right? Remember I said there was a bunch of this Alice Brooks stuff. So I open up the Alice Brooks. And in the Alice Brooks is an Alice Brooks design for crochet. Am I holding that? Yeah. Design 7060, Alice Brooks. Again, this is an Afghan. It's a beautiful Afghan. Here, let me see. Maybe you guys can see the picture of the Afghan. How pretty it is. Pretty. And they're calling it, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, they're calling it a crochet Afghan. Huh. I don't know what year this is. Let me see if I can see. Yeah, see, again, the postage says 1980, but doesn't that seem like it's an older pattern? It even the graphics and stuff looks older. So, and then, oh yeah, this was crazy. So, okay, Sewing in Fashion. Okay. Sewing in Fashion was apparently some type of instructional brochures. There's the order form, and then there's just a ton of these. Underlines. Boys' clothes. Knits and more knits. Elastic applications. Tricks of the trade. Men's accessories. You know, and you kind of have to love this woman because you know she grew up during the Depression. She didn't throw any of this stuff away. This stuff was all valuable to her. She paid for this stuff. She was never throwing it away. Didn't matter if she never made the Afghan. She's not throwing it away. What if she wants to make the Afghan tomorrow? Oh, this was weird. Okay. There was some real doll love going on because this, I am assuming this place isn't open anymore. It's in Somerset, New Jersey. I have no idea. But it was like their mail catalog, right? Look at this. It's the old days, kids, before the internet, when you had to buy things from catalogs. Here was their price list. Here was their order form. And then, if you were a brave soul, here was a map of their store if you wanted to actually physically go there. It was just crazy. I forget that this is how we did things. Did you want to buy some doll heads? There you go. So, yeah, a lot of this ephemera is hard for me to price, but it'll eventually go up on Etsy. If you're interested in anything, leave me a comment at some point, and, you know. Okay. So that one Good Housekeeping was not the only thing she got from Good Housekeeping. So, again, Good Housekeeping. Good Housekeeping. It's a little booklet of stuff, gifts you'll be glad you made. So, yeah, I guess this was for Christmas gifts or something. Yeah, it must be because look, it must be Christmas because look, you guys see the snowflake. Oh, and you know what? There's an elf on the front. What am I thinking? All right. Okay. And then, oh, look, here's more of these. I didn't put these together. Here's more of the, oh no, this was the aprons. Okay. I found a whole bunch of these. So I thought they were dresses, but then I realized they weren't. They were like really super fancy aprons. So here's one of the aprons where you can look like a sailor girl. And the weird thing about these is these have to be scaled up. This is not the actual size. So I'm like, Maybe I will put these up as PDFs. I don't know though. They're so big. It's hard to think of them. But there were a bunch of these. But oh yeah, here we go. I knew there was another doll. There's another doll in there. So got to put all the doll stuff together. And let's see. I can't even remember what was in all these. It was just, there was so much stuff. Oh yeah, this. Okay. This was a whole thing. It's basically making these dolls. It's just pages and pages of the patterns for these dolls. And here's these notions and supplies for these dolls. I don't know who Nettie is, but she was apparently a doll, and I guess she was popular because this woman sent away for another piece of paper in here. Oh yeah. Nettie's Coming Attractions. So if you wanted more Nettie stuff, again, don't know who Nettie is. Oh, and then there was this stuff. Okay, so I just found this like floating around. This is probably one of those giveaway things, but it was basically how to make lace, right? You know, now when you go into the store and there used to be the freebies that you could just grab that were for sewing, one of those. But this was the killer. Any of you who do embroidery know who Priscilla is? So these are two old ones. This is the lady, I guess they're supposed to be ladies in bonnets for your guest towels, or you can do the guest towels, which are these little ladies in bonnets. These to me look like the 40s. They're going to end up going up on Etsy on their own. These are another thing I might actually do as a PDF. I think about doing PDFs because then I can share them with more people. Okay. I'm not going to show you everything because I ended up putting together a file that was just like weird newspaper clippings and stuff. All right, so here's another one. Again, this whole just booklet of stuff and how to make it, how to crochet them, how to crochet doilies and the whole. So these will eventually go up on Etsy. I am trying really hard to get sewing patterns up first. They get preferential treatment because, quite honestly, they just sell better than anything else. Like I have tons of craft kits, and they just don't sell as well as sewing patterns do. Okay, so we're to the end of the box. So I'm just going to show you a couple of things in here. Like this is the file I made of all the kind of non-sewing stuff. So there were things like Christmas cards that she received. Oh, see? She kept everything. You gotta love her though, right? Gotta love her. She kept everything. And this was, I couldn't figure out what this went to. Right? I don't know what, it's just schematics for sewing, but I don't really know if it went to a particular pattern or what. I'll have to investigate that. And then this is my favorite. She has clippings from magazines of things she liked. And she just has tons and tons of them. Just like pictures like this. And these, I'm really like, ooh, I should make a collage of these, right? Oh, here, it's this one is the one she wanted. You can kind of tell when she cut through the other ones. She also has a piece of paper that she traced pattern onto. She's got, for some reason, an article about closets. Hold on, let me see if I can find the original page. And this was from Better Homes and Gardens or something. And I don't know. I can't find it. Maybe it's, there it is. Whoa. See, they're really fragile. But it's kind of cool that she kept this stuff, right? Oh, and these, this is one of my favorite things. I might have to keep these. So she kept these. Can you see she put them together? They're clippings from newspapers, and they're sewing directions from newspapers. I was just like, wow. And then, of course, a mimeograph of doing collars. And multiple copies of this. She must have gotten somebody to copy these on a copy machine. Oh, and that's right. There was, I mean, she has receipts in here, all kinds of stuff. There was this. Let's see if I can get this open. That's the problem with the magazine. I think she must have been very into dolls because there's so much doll stuff. I just want to find one more thing. And it's just more of this, but I do want to show you guys one more thing because I thought it was really cool. And it was, if I can find it. Oh yeah, look at this. An ad for a mail away pattern. Love that. Where is it? More traced piece of patterns. Okay, here it is. Okay, so I'm not sure why she kept this, but I'm wondering if she kept it for this article right here. Right? How cool. And look at this. Oh, look at this graphic. How cool is that? But I loved this. What colors to wear when your hair goes gray. I was like, oh yeah, I'm feeling you, lady. I'm feeling you. Let me see what year this was. $1965. I was a year old. There you go. I would have been a year old in 1965. So, like I said, this stuff is all going to start going on Etsy. And it's in an orderly fashion. Preference, of course, will be given to sewing patterns, you know, because they're kind of my jam. And they're what I know. You know, they're my wheelhouse. I look at something and go, wow, this is a great sewing pattern. I look at a pattern for an Afghan and I'm like, oh, I don't know, is it good? Probably looks kind of nice, you know, like I don't really know. Like I said, some of this stuff is already up there. And like these, like the doll patterns are already up there. And I already put these up. These were the uncut factory folded patterns, including Sue Barnett. And then all of this will slowly but surely make its way onto Etsy. So it doesn't look like anybody joined us tonight, but you know that I don't actually care. That I don't do this for fame and fortune, because if I did, I would be a starving nobody. So, but I'm sure lots of people will watch this later. So if you do watch this later, I hope you enjoyed looking at the cool stuff that I got in my recent shopping spree. When I get the box from Amy Latimer, I'll be more than happy to do a separate video on that. I probably won't do a live feed. I'll just do a video. We'll go over what she sent me. And until the next video, please like, subscribe, and comment. Ring the bell so you know when I'm going to upload. And until the next one, I hope you're doing well. And I hope you have a great back to school if you're going back to school. And until then, stay well. I'll see you later. Thanks for stopping by. Bye.